I think I'll just do it at the top and bottom just to save some time. Okay. All right, now I'm going to show you the next stage with one that I got dried and ready to go. Just going to put an extra bit of glue on there just to make sure it sticks down. And what I'll do is when this is dry, I'll finish it off later and I'll put a picture of it at the end so you can see. Right, so we'll just move that to one side for now. You can trim that later. So the next stage is when it's dry and it's all crispy and hard and yeah. And you can see, I just thought I'd test. I had some paint, fabric paint, so I did a few dots and I had some sand and I just glued some sand on there. I mean, I don't know if it's going to show up very well, but I thought I'd just try. So this is your stage where it's all dry. So at this point, you want to get your foil. Now, I think, depending on the thickness of your foil, I've doubled mine up, so you can see. I've doubled it up and make sure it's on the super shiny side. And you want to now, so that's definitely going to be big enough, because obviously it has to wrap around the back, and you want to seal it all the way around the back, so it's not going to come apart. So you need enough, like wrapping a present really, you need enough so it definitely wraps around the back. So we are going to have to trim this a little bit. But the first thing you have to do is put more glue on. So I'm going to quickly do that. You want glue everywhere. Glue, glue everywhere. So your foil sticks down properly. So you just want to paint everything over. Can you hear the wind? Super windy. Okay, almost done. Almost done, almost done. Now, it'll get super messy if you glue the back right now. But maybe just put a thin layer, because you can always tape up the back, because that's what I did on my final piece. I just taped it up. Okay, so as you can see, it's a little bit of a weird shape, but that looks like there's plenty of glue on there. Just maybe a bit more here. Okay. All right. So, before you trim it, just lay it on, and you want to start from the middle and work your way out. And you start pressing, pressing, and filling the spaces around your string. This can take quite a while. Be careful not to rub too hard, because you could rip the foil. So keep flattening, flattening. Pressing. Okay, you can see that the shape is starting to emerge. So those little embellishments that I did, I mean, they're barely visible, but that's okay. I mean, you can actually stick things on your card and, you know, create a relief that way. Right, so you can see my spiral now, hopefully. And at this point, it's kind of stuck to the paper because I put that little bit of glue on the back. but it's fine. You just want to wrap it. Because I've done this strange shape. It's going to be a little bit tricky around this curve, but that's okay. The back isn't going to matter too much what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and trim a bit up there. Continue to wrap. You can see I'm trying to be quick because we can only upload like 12 minutes onto YouTube at a time. You know, if you saw the dolly peg craft, that's in 4 parts because I just... Okay. So we're not going to worry about the back for now. We're going to press down here again. Make sure everything is sticking out. Okay. And you can manipulate your corners and tidy it up a little bit. It's a very interesting shape. But you know, gotta be a little bit different. So keep pressing, keep pressing. Now, ideally, you really want to let that dry a little bit before you go to the next part. But for this tutorial, I'm just going to get on with it because you can. I know you want to see something finished. So that's what you're going to have. You can even do, if you're super patient, you could even glue something down, glue your twine down, and then glue another layer of twine down so your relief is even better. But this one's going to be quite subtle. And what I'm going to do, you can use any paint now, and you know from your instruction sheet that if you've got Sharpies or felt tips or any kind of paint is gonna work for the next part. I tried using just normal brown paint, brown black paint for the first one that I did, but this one I'm going to try some boot polish. So I've got some boot polish. Just cheap stuff from the supermarket. And because I like that antique-y look, I'm just going to cover that. And then what I am going to do is I'm going to take the paint off on the spiral relief. So I'm just going to get a bit of tissue paper. And I'm going to just remove some of the paint off the relief so that it stands out a bit more. Now obviously that's going to dry and you might want to do more layers. But each time you do a layer of paint, I mean, if you want to remove the paint off the relief, you can. And obviously this would need to dry, and then you could build up your darkness that way. God, it really stinks too. Yeah, you'd need to let that dry to get it any darker, and then do another layer. But for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to remove as much as I can. I'm quite happy with that. And you can see when it does dry, it creates all these like cracked effects, and it looks really cool. So that I will put aside to dry, because I think I definitely want to fill in the lower parts of the badge. Definitely want it to be darker because I really want that silver spiral to stand out. So let's move all that, and this is the one I did. So it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Yeah, it really does. So you can see I used black and brown paint, just, you know, watered down acrylic and watercolor. I think it was black watercolor. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it properly, but there is a little snake tongue there sticking out that I did with that relief sand. And that did show up. It showed up quite well, but obviously I took a lot of time doing this one. I didn't rush through like I've just done now. But you can see the effect, and I built up the paint and just kept wiping, you know, the silver snake off. And I actually left the string dangling out, and I covered it in glue so it's quite stiff, so you can see how stiff it is. And then I just taped the back. I actually had some glittery tape in my Christmas box, and then I mounted the badge. So I think that looks pretty good, so I'm really pleased with that. So just be creative, do whatever you want. You don't need to use a string. You can, I mean, you can go wild. The other thing I just want to say that I did is I actually, when this was dry and finished, I put another layer of glue over the top just to seal in that paint, because it's a water-based paint, and obviously you don't want it to get wet and run. So just cover everything you have with foil and make cool images and pictures, and just have fun, and thanks for watching.